Botta Pizza, Viera's newest hotspot. I'm Jeremy Stewart, your go-to resource for all things Viera. Here on the channel, we cover everything from community and home tours, business spotlights, and community events. Today, we are taking a look at Botta Pizza, Viera's newest pizzeria. Let's go inside and have a chat with the owner.
Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
How's it going,
nice
Rico?
to see you, brother. How's it going? All right?
Good.
to see you.
Today, we are here with Rico Botta, the man behind the madness here at Botta Pizzeria. Let's have a chat with him and find out all the good things that are going on.
Perfect.
So let's get a little background.
Okay.
Where are you from originally? Why here? How long have you been here? And family. What do you
Perfect. So, yes, I'm from Boston originally.
Okay.
Moved here about, say, about a year and a half ago.
All right.
We started this project about a year ago.
Okay.
And so basically what drove me down here was my partner had an idea to make really good Neapolitan style pizza in this area. He was eating it down in Lauderdale and Miami, and he said, hey, you know, Brevard County needs a specialty type of pizza, so what do you think? And I've got about 15 years of bakery background experience.
Okay. So
Boston.
that's why restaurant for you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I was in bakery and pastry. I had a cookie factory in Boston for about 20 years with my dad. And retail was something I always wanted to dive into. So, I mean, I have recipes built up in my mind that go back to like my dad's 70s and 60s. So,
Amazing.
yeah, I have that little baker's touch.
Neapolitan
Yes.
pizza. We've never heard of it. So explain it to the viewers so they know a little bit more about what it is.
Okay, so Neapolitan is just, it's like the authentic Italian pizza style, and it's from the Naples region. And basically, it's a single serving pizza. Ours is about 13 and a half inches in diameter, and it's a very light, soft, and airy style pizza, meaning it's made with all traditional Italian ingredients. And what that is, it seems when you eat it, it's very easy to digest.
Okay.
So it's basically like, you know, one person could eat it, or it can be a serving for 2 or 3 people, depending upon what you get for toppings on it.
Right.
And that's kind of been what I've been trying to educate everyone with is, you know, they'll eat the pizza and they'll be like, oh my God, like I don't even feel full. I'm like, that's a good thing. You know, like that means your body is digesting the flour and the ingredients in the right way.
So that's one thing I noticed when we went to Italy, my wife and I, a few years ago, and we never got full.
Right.
So that's what
a good thing.
We noticed out first time we ate here, walked out,
Yeah.
felt like we ate.
Right.
Within 30, 45 minutes, you were like, all right, I don't feel like I got gut punched today.
Yes, and that was kind of the whole reason behind trying to do something different in this area.
Gotcha.
Create our own niche per se.
So I know there's something special with your dough too.
Yes.
Like we've talked about it in the past.
Yes.
So
Yes.
can you explain what you guys are doing different with the dough and why it's so special?
So I mean, I can give a little bit of information, but you know I don't. Bacon never shares all the secrets.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just share what you're comfortable.
So basically, I mean, I went to school at the AVPN, which is the Association of Veraci Neapolitan Pizza in Naples, Italy.
Okay.
And I was at that school for about a month, and it was like going back to college. So I sat there, lived on campus, and I studied the traditional way of making Neapolitan pizza.
Gotcha.
So from that understanding of how they did it in Italy, which is like the mecca of pizza in Naples, it's a very easy process. Whereas though you're just using flour, water, yeast, and salt.
Okay.
And
so I can name all those things.
that's it. Yeah, it's the simplistic way, right? And it's good Italian flour, it's Mediterranean sea salt, and with that aspect of it, it's time, temperature, and environment. So those are the other 3 main factors that go into the process of making our pizza. So
Gotcha.
would you say what makes our pizza a little bit different is how we conduct the process here. I've got a room in the back that's dedicated just for making dough.
Amazing.
Which means it's tempered. So when you walk in there, it's 68 degrees all the time. And then I have a Domex water meter that filters our water, and it tells us the temperature of the water. So if we have to cut it with ice to kind of, you have the Florida temperatures, it brings, so everything when it comes to dough has to be like perfectly scientific.
Gotcha.
When it comes to the time, temperature.
So it's almost like a chemistry experiment.
100%.
Okay.
And 100%.
So I'm going back to school today.
Yeah, 100. And, so what makes ours is we make them and then within 24 hours it's consumed. So, different pizzerias, that's for the Neapolitan. Our Romans are a different story.
Okay.
It's a 48-hour fermentation process. So ours are made and within 18, 24 hours it's consumed. And that all has to do with yeast activity and there's more technical aspects of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we say it's made fresh, every 18 to 24 hours. And that's
I can vouch for that, by the way. I've had it half a dozen times already, and every time it's perfect. So
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
So you opened officially in January.
Yes.
How's the reception been in the community so far?
It's been fantastic. This community is absolutely, it's amazing. I mean, it's the educating them on what we do, because we are a niche pizzeria and it is new to the area, and it's just been an overwhelming experience with the compliments we get when people do eat here.
Awesome.
It reminds them of, their family restaurant that they grew up in or the restaurant down the corner. So it's been great.
And that's kind of what you're trying to create.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were trying to create.
Perfect. I know every time I drive by, because I live just down the street, this parking lot has gotten more and more and more full over the last 3 months.
Yes.
Before it was like, Foxtail would have a few cars and everybody would have like a smattering, and now this end is like solid, and we go, you see people standing outside on Fridays and waiting. It looks like every other restaurant in Brevard, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Apparently, I watched this go up. It took a long time, so I'm assuming there was a ton of thought that went into the design as well.
Yes, it was. I mean, my team and I have been working on this probably longer than they wanted me to work on it, let's say. And they'll tell you that firsthand. I got my chops busted quite too often on doing this. But I went to Italy and I was there for a few months, and I kind of really wanted to take in the experience of not only the school, but I spent some time after in the city, and I wanted to bring that kind of experience here. So I was, received inspiration from a lot of popular Neapolitan pizzerias out there on how their setups were.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of why it took a little bit longer, because I told the team, hey, let me get some ideas, let me get some inspiration, and then we'll stop building. And then I worked with a designer in London, and in London they work with small places. And as you see, it's not a huge restaurant, but we had to make sure we fit everything that we wanted in here, and that's kind of what took the time. And then my team came up with a beautiful design and kind of wanted to really, with the interior colors and everything, wanted to really make it fit the community.
Nice. So how many people can you see? How many people?
So we can get 40 in here and 28 outside right now.
Okay, so still not small.
No.
I mean,
No.
That's a pretty good footprint.
But if you see Friday night.
But Friday nights
are Friday nights. That's true.
That's true. Everywhere. And
that's true.
You never want to go to an empty restaurant.
No.
Like, that's the other thing.
No.
If it's empty, I'm probably less likely to do this.
True story. Yes.
So I'm going to vouch. You mentioned being a pastry chef before, and 2-3 weeks ago, my daughter came in with me and we got cannolis.
Oh, yes.
Quite possibly the best cannoli pastry I've ever had, and my wife and daughter will vouch, and my daughter refused to share.
That's a good sign.
Just a heads up, if you come, get dessert.
Yes, please.
It's fantastic.
My dad would be happy to hear you say that.
Yeah. It was, is it like cinnamon or something? And I don't share, but whatever it
Pure
is,
vanilla
it's
bean, Madagascar. It's the good vanilla, straight from the branch.
So what's next for you guys? I've seen social media posts like hinting at some sandwiches and some additions to the menu.
Yes.
What else is going on with the business that you'd like to share with us?
So I mean, as a lot of people are happy with, and we are too, is our menu's very small, and it's small for a reason, because we produce quality, and that's our niche. So anything we do, like our meatballs came out 3 weeks ago, and they've been absolutely phenomenal. I say that because it's a sign there.
I saw the dirty lemonade.
Yeah, dirty, and it's dirty lemonade. Yeah. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to introduce new food. in a smaller scale. Like our sandwiches will be coming out in a few weeks.
Okay.
That's going to be made with fresh Durham Italian wheat bread. So I'm making that fresh every day.
Okay.
So that's taken some time, but that'll be done in 2 weeks. So we'll have sandwiches here in May. We're also looking to increase our menu by adding cutlets and maybe some pasta dishes in the future.
But still keeping it pretty
Still
narrow.
keeping it small, correct. And the biggest thing what we're trying to do is we've been here 3 or 4 months. We're trying just to kind of take it 1 week at a time to see how we can start getting more creative and making this a more of a experience destination. Our food's great, but we want to make it a destination, an experience. You know, we've coming out, like you see, Nana's Dirty Lemonade. We've been coming out, I've got a good bartender worker that I have here, Anthony, and he comes out with these phenomenal drinks for us. And,
Awesome.
you know, we're mixing, we got raspberry lime Ricky, we did a limoncello spritz. So we're going to start coming
nice.
up with these different cocktails.
Okay.
And we're promoting those on the weekend right now. And, you know, we're hoping to get into more of a late night menu on a Friday and Saturday, bring a DJ in, and just, you know, kind of create a different vibe and experience for the area.
So, speaking of experience, you were talking about how important that is to you. I noticed when we've come in, you check in personally on almost every table.
I try my best.
It's been pretty incredible.
try my
like
best.
hustling back and forth.
Yes.
I see him come up and check with
Yes.
almost everybody, which is super cool. Because you know that's what you want from a local business owner, is to be part of the community, not just taking. You're like
Correct.
already trying to give back, which is really interesting as a newer business to want to do.
Yes, and that's been important for me and for our team, specifically, you know, the ones that work here, is to engage with our guests. And I think that's kind of been a lost. It's been lost in the restaurant industry, not even here, even in Boston.
Yeah.
Whereas though the communication with your guest is huge. And I love feedback. I want to hear, you know, I've taken feedback before from guests where I've used, you know, and constructive criticism is great. I want to hear it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't have a filter, let me know. And, you know, that's the part where, and then hear their story of where they grew up. And, you know, a lot of people aren't from this area. So hearing what they had and tours and been to Italy or local restaurants in the area that they grew up in, and it's similar, having that family vibe. So I think checking in on tables as best as I can.
Yeah. Are you getting a lot of repeat business now? Like, are you seeing regulars?
Yes, and organic growth was something we really wanted to kind of start off with, you know, and,
Awesome.
and this area, and this is a new side, you know, we're on the opposite side of the avenues, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
This is a new side of Viera.
It's a good time to be over here. I mean, I live over here, so we've had to cross the roundabout, the dreaded roundabout,
Yes.
for a decade
Yes.
to get anything.
Yes.
And it's nice to see some of you guys shifting this way. Like, I can ride my bike down here now.
And that's what we're hoping. That's why I mentioned we're trying to bring more of an experience here. You know, we've got a beautiful Lavazza machine that will make espressos and cappuccinos. And when I can start to veer into the pastry side, I haven't even opened up that part of the business.
So we haven't even got the good stuff yet.
Yeah, you've got the good stuff. You just haven't got the other varieties of what I have the capabilities of doing. And as soon as we start doing that, I mean, it's, you know, we have, you know, big plans of being creative and innovative here, and
Awesome.
It's just beginning, and the community has been unbelievable, and they've been so, you know, nice to us when they come in, and it's just been the organic growth has been great. And
So we were talking off camera before we got started. We were talking about, I had done takeout from here, and he's mentioning, and he hasn't talked about this part of the expansion yet, the new takeout area that's gonna make
yes,
a new part of your business, but also how your process for how you're recommending people do it. And I think that's something really interesting to share.
Yes.
Because when we think about takeout, we think about grabbing the box, going home and eating the pizza.
Right.
So can you give us like a quick synopsis of what you told me off camera?
right. So as Jeremy had mentioned, we created a takeout window in the back over here, which we're trying to kind of create an area just specifically for people to come and pick it up, and they can enjoy on the patio and sit down and relax and have a drink. But back to what he's saying about our pizza, our pizza is developed at a high level of heat. So what I was explaining to him, a traditional way of taking a takeout Neapolitan pizza would be to get the pizza in a hole, or the Roman in a hole. Don't have it cut. And when you come and pick it up, put your oven at 500 degrees with a metal or aluminum sheet pan in there. As soon as you pick up your pie, you go home, you toss your pie in the oven, 3 minutes at 500. The bottom crisp, the top of it get nice, the ingredients get nice and freshened up again. You take it out and then you cut it. And I think that is a part of the education that we're going to start doing on our media sites. Thank you for actually bringing that up here and helping us get that, because it's important.
It's different. You know, usually I think about takeout and it's already pre-cupped for me.
Right.
It's hot. By the time I get it home, it's still hot, but this was new and different, and everything about you all has been new and different so far. So I think it's important to explain. Now, you've talked about what you're doing here. Do you guys have long-term expansion plans too, or are you just trying to get really good at this?
And if I told you what was in my head, you'd need another 3 hours of video clips. But
let's not do that.
Yeah, no. I mean, honestly, we're just taking it right now, 1 week, 1 month at a time, and developing what we want to do here.
Okay.
And then plans for expansion down the road. If it happens, great.
If it doesn't, you've got this.
If it doesn't, I've got this place. I've also, I've got a beautiful family, so I'm trying to find that balance of family and work.
How's that going? It's not right now. I gotcha.
And they're great, and my wife has been great, and my kids are great, and they have patience. I have 3.
Okay. How old?
7, 5, and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like mine's 11, almost 12. And the guy behind the camera, he's got them all over the board too.
So we all know how that goes.
Yeah. It's super. I mean, family's the most important thing.
It is.
And we try to balance it the best we can.
And
do they think this is cool?
Oh, they love it. They're here. Yeah, they love it. Yeah,
they love coming in.
They love coming.
Work.
Yes, they love coming and visiting, and they know what I'm doing. And I think that's what I did growing up. I watched my dad. My dad was an immigrant from Italy.
Okay.
With nothing when he came here, and I'm repeating. My mother will tell me I repeat the same things as he was doing. And he did very well, and he busted his butt every day, and it's been passed on to me, and I do the same thing, and
you're passing it down.
And my kids are recognizing it, and I think
cool.
I think the hard work aspect of it, what you're doing and what many others do, is inspirational for the generations to come.
Yeah.
And
well, it's all
great.
Like, I mean, I work for my family. That's
right.
Everything else is secondary. It sounds
100%.
You're kind of the same way. Like,
yes.
Family above all else.
Of course.
Cool.
And no, it's been great, and this community's been great, and I'm glad we got to do this.
Yeah,
we've been talking about this for a while.
We talked about this December, January timeframe. I think I came in for soft opening, and
I was covered in flour.
Yeah, you're like, give me a few weeks, and 4 months. I mean, like, we're close.
Exactly. We're close.
But I want to thank you for your time today. Botta Pizza, Viera, Florida, on Lake Andrew Drive. You have to come check this place out. Come experience it. Don't just do the takeout. I suggest meat lovers, hot honey sauce, and a Caesar salad.
And house dressing made every day.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah. For the white, I like the sausage and broccoli.
Okay.
And for the red, I like the meat lovers and pepperoni.
Excellent. So remember those when you come in here. You'll find them on the menu. It's not very big, which is nice. They're easy to find. Bonus, since you've stuck around this long, now we get to go check out what goes on behind the scenes. Let's go take a look.
Oh man, let's check it out. So I mean, like, this is our dough room here, and as I said, it's the 68 degrees in here at all times.
Cold.
It's cold
For me. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like July will feel awesome.
Yes. Yes. And what you see here is our ABS dough mixer, cookie mixer. Here is a dough divider. So what this bad boy does is bring it down, pop it up, down here, comes up, divides the dough.
Nice.
Into 20 equal parts for me.
Okay.
And then it gets into a rounder, which are these cool little tools here that are being washed and dry. And then that's my my water meter. So that tempers all the dough down. Like, it's 68 degrees right now in the lines underground. If I purge that, it'll probably be about 73 to 74. And then I'll have to cut it with the ice that I was talking about 10 to 15%, to bring the temperature of the dough to 54 degrees, which is the optimal use of the water temperature for the dough. And then that's a proof box behind you there. You don't need to get it, but just show you that's where all my bread is over there. And yeah, I mean, this is my cookie machine. The famous machine that makes the raspberry cookies is here.
Nice.
So this is raspberry, and that's our cookie base. Injects
I've seen
it, cuts it
everybody
off.
videoing these, by the way. I don't have the mouth for that, but I've seen it several times.
So yeah, this is kind of where all the magic happens with our ingredients and our dough. And as you see, it's tempered. So that's the magic room. So that's our oven here. As you see, that's the Biscotto Sorrento stone. So what that means is these rocks came from the sand of Mount Vesuvius, the lava rocks.
Okay.
So Mount Vesuvius is located in Naples, Italy, and they take the sand and they make, they mud it up, and then they make these stones. So these stones are certified, by the AVPN. That's the school I went to.
Okay.
Approved. So what that means is it's approved to make Neapolitan style pizzas in this oven.
And if you don't have this, then it's
you could still make it, but this is kind of being blessed by the school. This one can make a traditional Neapolitan style pizza.
Gotcha.
And as you see, the stone comes in the back. Right now it's 800. This little 786, it'll get up to about 850 to 900, but this oven can get to 986 degrees.
Wow.
And that's why the stone is popular. They use these in wood fire, gas fire, electric. The stone's popular because that's what holds all the heat. So as soon as you put that pie in there,
it just what we were talking about.
The high heat.
Yeah.
It gets the crust to come up, and that's kind of where you see all that stone in there.
Is this gas heated or electric heated?
This is electric.
Man, I do not want to see their FPL bill.
Yeah. It's electric. They started. A lot of them have started to get away from wood.
Yeah.
Due to the combustion issues.
Yeah.
And to burn 5 to 10. And in school, I was working with wood, gas, and electric.
So you learned on.
I learned on all of them, and the stone is the most important part, and the heat.
Yeah.
Wood. Different pots are different temperatures.
Yeah.
Inconsistent bakes.
This is a little more even.
Even and consistent.
Nice.
Throughout the whole thing.
Very nice.
And you don't have any combustion going through, specifically in a smaller space. And over there, like I said, a lot of the pizzaioli, the professionals that have been doing it for 100 years generationally, are switching to these type of ovens because they're all developing lung disease.
Gotcha. From the smoke
and a lot of that stuff occurring over there. So this is kind of like the higher technology of pizza ovens, the Ito Forno. And that's how this works here. And
incredible.
It's baked in there, it comes out, you see them fresh and fast.
Fast food.
And then this is our pizza table. So this is marble, and pizza dough loves marble because it's nice. It keeps it nice and cold. So when the dough's on there and we're topping it, it has a nice cooler texture. Cooler surface for the dough.
Okay.
That's where we make it.
Awesome.
And so the flow goes like that, gets stretched in the oven, comes here, we top it with all of our garnishes. So you can see we have all of our guides lined up.
Yeah.
And then from there, it goes right to the expo station. So we kind of...
like an assembly line.
Yeah, we kind of keep it. This is what I mean, fresh ingredients. You can't... This is oregano from the tree in Calabria. So we take this and we put it over the pizza, and we give you the fresh taste of oregano.
Nice. Okay.
And we use parm wedges for the top. We don't use anything pre-done. That's what we do. We use all fresh stuff. It's that tomato medley, and that's made fresh in the back. And as much as freshness as we can provide, we do. And it goes right through the line here, boom, 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 right out the front. But that's why you see how fast things turn around.
Yeah. It's always pretty quick when we come, which is nice.
And it's small space, so everything is right where it needs to be.
Nobody's having to move a ton.
No. You don't want that. You don't want them running in the back to get cheese.
No.
Oh, no.
Amazing.
And that's how we've been able to kind of use it. But the oven it's a beautiful oven. Shipped here from Italy. We had to put it together. Thanks to the boys from W&J Construction putting it together for me. And we did it. It does a phenomenal job.
Awesome.
So that's this part. That's that. I'll give the secret away on my sauce.
Don't do that.
It's funny because it's simple. It's just it's the best tomato sauce from Italy, and grown and packaged in 4 hours.
Wow.
Like that's how fresh it goes.
It's that quick.
Yeah, and if we can even mention that on there, and you can talk about it, is and I don't mind showing it. So the tomato sauce that we use is from it's DOP, so it's from the San Marzano region in Italy.
Okay.
So what that means is these tomatoes are grown from the soil of Mount Vesuvius. So what happens is the soil of Mount Vesuvius, it enriches seeds and the plants. So a lot of places will say they have San Marzano tomatoes, but it's not official.
Gotcha.
They can take the seed and grow it in California.
But this is the real.
So you say, how do you know it's real? And you get your certification here.
Okay. Very cool.
So the Italians will certify it, and they'll say, hey, this is grown in our region. This is, actually San Marzano tomatoes.
The real deal. Yeah.
Right. And to get these were very difficult to get.
It's like champagne has to come from the Champagne region of France. Anywhere else, it's sparkling wine. It's
right. And
the same kind of product, but you can't call it that.
Exactly. And that goes with the cost,
Yeah.
And that's why everyone's like, well, I could get San Marzano tomatoes grown in California for half the cost, but they're not going to taste that good.
Right. They're just going to be different.
And for these, it's very simple. It's, the palati, and we hand crush them in the morning, and we put a little bit of salt in there, and then that's it. And it just goes on top. We actually scoop it right, as you saw, right out of the can.
Yeah.
Right on top. And they're grown and packaged within 4 hours. And I know this because when I was at the school in Italy, the owner of this company came, and he gave a whole speech and presentation from us.
Very nice.
And that's how I was able to get in contact with him when I moved here and get a supply to bring it in through Miami.
Awesome.
So we get them up through Miami, and it's the sauce. It's just using the good ingredients is what makes a big difference.
That's been your focus.
That's all it is.
Awesome.
Every day.
Awesome.